Hey, what's up, everybody? The VC here, coming at you with another video. It's about anything and everything. Nothing's off the table, and it's all about common sense and just things that are out there that I wanted to mention and talk about. So, without further ado, let's get straight to it. Here I am. I'm on the VC. That's my channel. If you want to follow me on Rumble, or if you want to, you know, subscribe to the VC here on YouTube. Either way, I'd be greatly, appreciative about it. So with that, let's go into it now. All right, so here we go. And so I wanted to talk about a couple things. I talked about the Blue Origin thing. I really wanted to dig into that. At first I wasn't going to, but I wanted to talk about it now. But before we do, Trump recently signed executive order to, I guess you could say defund, to use the term, defund sanctuary cities, right? If they are still going to harbor and abate and help illegals, and he's going to cut off federal funding, right? So with that, of course, you're going to have places like dumbass Newsom in California double down and be like, oh, and
If
so
you're
let's see what he has to
shopping for
say.
a home, you could browse hundreds of listings to find homes with big yards, or
LA and California doubling down now on their sanctuary status today after President Trump's new order threatens to pull funds from governments that interfere with their immigration policies. So how much money could be at stake here for our city and state? NBC4's Karma Dickerson took that question to our leaders, joins us live with more. Karma.
Well, we do know that federal funding plays a crucial role in not just the state, but the local budget. And we did ask Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom how much money could be at risk. They wouldn't put a specific number on it, but we have learned, according to the city budget, that it looks like that number is in the hundreds of millions. Obstruction of justice, conspiracy against the United States. President Trump's new executive order suggests sanctuary states and cities could be committing crimes against America.
Obviously, we're concerned. What does he mean to do with this executive order?
Go after their money.
If you're defying federal law, you are threatening your own federal spending by doing that.
Specifically, the executive order discussed by the White House press secretary yesterday calls on the Attorney General and the Homeland Security Secretary to create and publish a list of sanctuary jurisdictions, accuse those jurisdictions of violating federal policy, then potentially suspend or terminate some of their federal funding.
Yeah, go
so
for
what
it.
does that mean for Californians and Angelinos?
I don't know the exact number because our funds are so intertwined. So, for example, we have direct grants, especially security grants, public safety grants, direct from the federal government. But a lot of our other funding that might go to the state first or the county first originates at the federal level.
Los Angeles is a sanctuary city. California is a sanctuary state.
Do you have an idea how much funding could be raised for the state?
California's sanctuary status is legal, period, full stop.
When asked today, neither California's governor nor LA's mayor would say how much federal money could be at risk. However, the mayor's budget proposal for next year accounts for hundreds of millions in federal grants. Mayor Karen Bass spent the morning with the Veterans Affairs Secretary working to secure federal resources for homeless veterans. She says federal funding has been crucial to the Palisades fire recovery.
Is it worth it to maintain LA status as a sanctuary city if at risk?
It is worth it. It is worth it to protect all Angelinos, regardless of when they got here.
Get out of here.
And NBC4 investigates.
So coming from someone that's incompetent as Karen Bass, there is a difference between legal and illegal, right? And it's just not fair. I mean, simply, it's just not fair for us to be paying for illegals. I mean, period, full stop. It's just not fair. Like, why are we paying for them, right? And it's funny how when they budget, they really budget on the hinge of, dependent on federal government paying a portion of something. Maybe they shouldn't budget for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they think that, oh, we could, budget for this because the federal government's going to kick in for this, that's where they budget everything wrong, right? So just like how they just decide to dole out health insurance to everybody, illegals and all that don't deserve it, they said, oh, we'll budget for it because the government's going to kick in, the federal government's going to kick in anyways for Medi-Cal, so it's all good, don't worry, guys. And when the government says, no, we're not going to pay for your irresponsible spending, then they sit there and be like, oh, wait a second, that's not fair. And it's like, well, it is fair because you're paying for people that don't belong here. So fuck out of here with that shit.
It has been working to get a comprehensive list of the federal grants that could possibly be in jeopardy. Neither the city nor the county have gotten back to us yet on that specific request. But as you heard from the mayor, we do know that that funding can be crucial for things for policing, public housing, and other services. So we're going to continue to work to get that information. Reporting live from downtown, Carmen Dickerson, NBC.
All right, whatever. Yes, hey. It's easy. All you gotta do is just stop paying for illegals. I mean, what's so hard about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Why is it so hard? I don't get it. Just stop. That's it. Let's see. Trump administration terminates 24 million grants sent for Denver migrant shelters. Love it. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Not at 9, the federal government is canceled.
Before we get to this, let me see what some of the comments are saying here. I don't remember voting on sanctuary status state. Oh, that's right. Now, one voted for it. Taxpayer here. Please show me where I could donate more money to have the federal government come in and get rid of our governor. Yeah. Yeah, Trump made it clear what he was going to do. I mean, I think people screw sanctuary status. What about veterans? I mean, people are all in support of this. I didn't vote for this BS. The lies they tell you it's not hundreds of millions, it's billions of dollars. California receives $162 billion in Title I funding. 68% of welfare dollars come from the federal government. All STAT benefits are federal. California pays $700 billion in taxes. It's all public knowledge. It's anywhere from $800 billion to $1 trillion in federal funds. California has the second largest. All right, whatever. Right? They need a vote. They need immigrant votes to keep California. Get rid of sanctuary, treason. All right, so you get it, right? I mean, hey, it is what it is. This is NBC, LA. All right, let's see here. Denver.
Canceling tens of millions of dollars in grants for the city and county of Denver. We have confirmed the Department of Homeland Security says FEMA will not pay Denver $24 million in grant money promised to help shelter migrants. FEMA had already given the city $8 million of the $32 million it originally promised. In a letter obtained by Fox 31, FEMA writes in part, quote, grant programs that support or have the potential to support illegal immigration through funding illegal activities or support for illegal aliens that is not consistent with DHS's enforcement focus do not effectuate the agency's current priorities. Today, Denver's budget director also said a $1 million grant for housing electrification has been cut and several grants for public health could be in jeopardy. Overall, Denver's budget has anywhere from $100 to $200 million of grant money, most of it coming from the feds.
The city does not have the capacity, if all of that federal funding were to go away, to backfill it. And so that is another risk.
So again, they are dependent from the feds to kick in the money to do all the stupid shit they're doing here in Denver also. So it's easy. If you're doing these shelters, you're going to have to shut them down. But if you want to just double down and keep doing it, all right, then do it on your own. And he had said they don't have the funds to do it, because they were dependent on those funds from the government. That's why they're called grants. That means that it's getting paid for from somewhere else.
We are carefully monitoring and very concerned about. There have been several grant terminations.
We reached out to the mayor's office about the potential impact of the FEMA cuts on this year's budget. Officials saying the short-term impact is small. They sent us a statement saying, quote, FEMA dollars take an eternity, and these were never going to be factored into either this year's budget or next year's. We'd only received about a quarter of the grant in question to date. But ultimately, it's still money the city could use, and we worked very hard to procure in response to a crisis that was not of our making.
Yeah, it is. Not their making. defund all sanctuary cities. Millions for illegal aliens, zero for citizens who lost everything. Let that sink in. Why the hell should tax dollars be funding this? Sanctuary cities got to go. Yeah, see? I mean, everybody's supporting it. Alright, everybody's supporting it. Another, let's see, local affiliate there in Denver. I mean, there you go, right? Let's see. Arrest made as county employees march in DTLA, block traffic. See, you know how they always say these dummies, oh, they do peaceful protests. So if it's peaceful protest, then why is it that it happens to do something disruptive to where arrests are being made? I mean, that's not being peaceful protesting then, right? So don't bust me with some bullshit, alright? It's just crap. Let me see if there's something that will show what type of arrests were made here. LA County Workers Union back at negotiating table amid 2-day strike. Yeah, so 2-day strike.
This News Chopper 4 flew over this march.
It's funny because that really shows how these cities and counties are dependent on spending, right? And when places like LA overspend, and now they don't have money because they can't print any more money, feds are not kicking in nothing, or about to. They haven't come to that yet. And then look, well, we can't pay you guys now. Then you have everybody striking.
In support of these workers, they say LA County failed to hear them out when it came to a new contract.
And new at 5, we have just learned a brand new development in negotiations between the workers and the county. NBC4's Ted Chen live for us in downtown Los Angeles with these breaking new details. Ted.
Michael, Colleen, the union is calling this a major development. They say they were called back into negotiations with the county this afternoon. This is thousands of them took to the streets here in downtown Los Angeles. They say they can no longer afford what the county has been providing. The county says that it cannot afford what the workers are asking for. And caught in between is the public that depends on both. If you're wondering why Anthony Quinn Library in East LA was closed today, look no further than the sea of purple marching through downtown Los Angeles. What do we want? When do we want it? Now! Wearing union t-shirts and looks of defiance, LA County workers walk these streets today instead of to their jobs, in health, in parks, in libraries, at beaches. The strike's size captured by News Chopper 4. Zoom in and you can hear cries like that of social worker Anthony Cervantes.
I have worked tireless nights, coming home late in the evening where I'm leaving my kids to go ahead and take care, which I gladly minister and serve my kids on my caseload. You can at least take care of my family, too.
The workers accuse the county of violating labor laws and paying private contractors money they should be paying them. The county CEO told NBC4's Lauren Coronado the county's budget has been pushed to the limit by wildfires, lawsuits, and the loss of federal funds.
We want a fair contract, too. However, we also know that we do not have an unlimited budget, even though our budget is very large.
The standoff meant closing some non-urgent health clinics, mobile...
No, they don't have an unlimited budget all of a sudden. They acted like they did, and now all of a sudden they don't.
Health services, county libraries, and beach restrooms. The marchers today also included animal service and trash pickup workers. The county warning of delays in service across the board, but workers insisting that what's good for them will be good for everyone.
Our workers are all frontline responders. These are people, we're the safety net. We provide services for the most vulnerable citizens of Los Angeles.
Let's just get this done today so that we can get back to work tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's hard to blame these people when LA is $1 billion in the hole. Where's all that money gone? They have to pay for homeless and illegals. Won't somebody think about the children? Cost of living is high. Blame Newsom. Shit, blame the county. Blame LA. Blame Newsom. You guys voted for these people. You guys get what you voted for, right? 55,000 county unit working. No wonder you're in a deficit and taxes are so high. Yeah, how can they have? I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, they did point that out. Like, you're paying illegals. You look at how much money was spent for homeless, and it got worse, whether it's countywide or statewide, and you just haven't fixed anything and caused more problems, and yet the money is all gone, like dried up, and it's just weird to me that it's all just been a Democratic grift that has hit the end of the line pretty much. Tell your state to spend your money better. How much do they give illegals and stuff in their own pocket? Exactly. I think that's what it is. I think a lot of it is just a grift and stuffed in their own pockets. All right. And so, you have that. All right. So there you go. This is funny. I think it's all catching up to them now. I think they're grift and grift and grift because you had a safety net of Biden over the years. Really is now caught up to them because after they review the books and everything's been reviewed, Biden's no longer in the picture. It's like, holy shit, in California, all these sanctuary cities and all these Democratic run cities have all been irresponsibly spending, and it's all been a grift for just lining their own pockets, come to find out, right? Every one of these places. And now it's just to properly expose them to a broader sense, and you'll be like, oh yeah, there it is. That's where all the money went. So that's coming in short time. That's what it seems like. All right, I want to jump on over to this Blue Origin shit. All right, so a couple weeks ago, Blue Origin successfully completed its 11th human spaceflight on April 14th. This was an all-female crew. That was the significance of this, was that it was an all-female crew and they called it the New Shepard. It lasted 11 minutes, right, and it reached the altitude of 62 miles, which crosses that line that is kind of recognized that, okay, you are in space, right? And then after that, they came back down. You know what I'm saying? So let me see if we can show a photo of them. All right, so that's them. Well, here's a clip of that. All right.
Transition to onboard hydraulic pumps.
And this right here is the moment that they've been training for. 2 days, becoming a crew, becoming a team.
You go through an experience like.
So you have this crew of, let's see here, you have Lauren Sanchez, you had the Asian chick here, Amanda Nguyen, she's a former NASA scientist. Katy Perry, Gail King, Aisha Bowe, former NASA scientist, film producer Carrie Ann Flynn, and then of course you have, what's her name, Sanchez here, Lauren Sanchez. So this was looked at, so you had a lot of, stuff like this right here, all this stuff, oh, this is a flower, and she brought her Daisy, to really show her daughter, all this other stuff. Gail King says, oh, we did this special space flight, and it's not really like a space flight per se, even though you only been up there for like 11 minutes. It wasn't like, it was some earth-shattering thing that's never been done before. It was just a group of privileged people that paid a lot of money to go into space, a 1%er flight to space, right? So that's what they called it as. Yeah, so that's what they did there, right? They got a lot of, because the way they were talking, they acted like this has been the most amazing thing ever, because, you know, we had this all-female crew, we were in space, you know, and they try to compare themselves to NASA and the space missions that NASA has done in the past. And it's like, dude, you barely touched space, and all of a sudden, you know, you act like you're astronauts now, because that's what they try to call themselves, like they were astronauts. So let's look at some of the cheesy footage here.
Got it? 1, 2, 3, taking up space!
We're doing astronaut training today. We're going to learn everything that you need to know to fly a nominal mission to space.
We are beginning the simulation at T+2 minutes. Separation is confirmed.
It is my pleasure to tell you, you've passed. Does that make you feel confident? Yes. Does that make you feel good?
It makes it start to feel even more real.
What is the vibe of the New Shepard crew this morning now that the morning is finally here?
Oh, there is so much energy here.
It's not about going to space, it's about what we bring back. And I get to go with 5 incredible women.
We are all in our places, bright, shiny faces.
Babies, I love you so much. Love you, Grandpa. I love you, Daisy. I love you so much. Here we go. 2, 1.
It's not cheap to fly into space, so they had to pay a lot of money to do all this.
Look at the moon. Oh my gosh. You see that?
Oh my gosh. I got you, Flynn.
Gotcha.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
There comes the rocket down. It's going to relight its engine.
I have almost no words. It was the most incredible experience of my life.
I feel super connected to love. You never know how much love is inside of you.
Cheesiness.
I will never be the same.
Pure
And
cheese.
there's no boundaries, there's no border, there's just earth.
Now that I've done it, I really do feel I can take on anything.
No dream is too wild. If it's going to space, you can absolutely make it through, and it can absolutely be possible.
I don't think you can describe it. You look at it and you're like, we're all in this together.
Yeah, pure cheese. So, let's look at this right here. Pure cheese.
King returned to Earth after partaking in the Blue Origin 11-minute spaceflight, but the reception wasn't quite as welcoming as she had hoped.
Number 3, please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, you have never said to an astronaut, boy, what a ride. You know, we duplicated the same trajectory that Alan Shepard did back in the day, pretty much. No one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous.
It was only 11
or something
minutes.
that's lighthearted. There was nothing frivolous about what we did.
It was a ride.
And the machine that we were on, and what it took for the people to get that machine up and running, to get us up and get us back down safely. So, you know, I'm very disappointed and very saddened by it. And I also say this, what it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that. I've had so many women and young girls reach out to me, and men too, by the way, men too, that say, wow, I never thought I could do that, but I see you doing it at this stage of my life. Who would have thunk it? Not me. And how inspired they are.
The criticism came after footage during the spaceflight showed the women squealing and ended with Katy Perry bizarrely kissing the ground upon her return to Earth. The pop star then had the audacity to recommend the space mission to everyone, despite, of course, hardly anyone being able to afford such a luxury.
It is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour.
And Lauren Sanchez.
So, translating to that, we bring it to present day, 2 weeks later. Here's the tour. I think she thought it was going to boost the profile here.
I want to speak to you about Katy Perry. She's
so we talked about
struggling
this.
to sell tickets to her show. She's not just a pop star, she's now apparently an astronaut after that 11-minute trip in space. But she's reportedly struggling to sell tickets to her show, the Lifetime Tour, in several US states. More than half of the seats at the nearly 20,000 person capacity Toyota Center in Houston remain available for May 7. This comes after her backlash over that Blue Origin space flight. And to remind everyone, she was up in space for 11 minutes, and that was apparently for the benefit of the Earth, according to her. And she, of course, kissed the ground for the cameras after she landed. I mean, Kinsey, are you surprised that no one's really rushing to buy tickets to her show?
No, I think that we're really seeing this backlash. When you think about the Blue Origin thing, I think we're really seeing this backlash when it comes to the unapologetic, selfish 1%. And I do think that that's why people are over Katy Perry. Beyonce is struggling to sell tickets as well. The joke is that Happy Meals are the same price as the worst Beyonce ticket that you can get right now. And I will stress, though, that I have heard sources at Live Nation, the tour promoter for Katy Perry, immediately had reservations about her ability to sell out stadiums from the very get-go. So I think that, unfortunately, they didn't go with their gut here. And this is looking, they're red in the face now. They're embarrassed.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's chat about Meghan Markle. She couldn't be more...
Yeah, so, that. I mean, this is funny. How they thought this thing was going to...
The truth is out there. Scientists in the UK say they found tentative
their profiles
evidence that life
because
exists
they were
on another
so-called
planet.
astronauts.
But they stress they still need more data to confirm the results. Tom Shalhoub and Tyrus, both Fox News contributors. I was excited to have you on today. Here's the lead researcher at Cambridge. This is what he said.
We have found signs of biosignature molecules, either DMS or DMDS or both of which are produced uniquely by life here on Earth.
Tyrus, I was so excited you were here today because you can't believe this. Ask about this, though, because another thing having to do with space is we had that big ride over the, well, can I call it a ride? I guess I'm not supposed to. Gail King said this about when she went up into space.
I don't like that people are calling it a ride. A ride, you never see a male astronaut.
I already heard what she said. I'm going to skip to...
we took a ride. The work that Blue Origin does.
I thought that they got a lot of respect. I was a little surprised at this.
It was a ride. You're not an astronaut. She said she was the mission. You went up and you came down. That's what it is. It's a ride. It's a ride. And she's like mankind, mission, and astronauts. You're not an astronaut. You didn't do anything astronaut-like.
How dare they say mankind?
Yeah. Alan Shepard did this 64 years ago. 10 years ago, we were using Blackberries.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, things change.
Also, have you ever done those rides? I went to Disney World and they have the mission to Mars. I think it might be harder than what they did because they simulate the G-force of going to Mars by spinning you around really, really fast. You don't have to spin around in there. You just go straight up. Yeah. I think my ride was harder.
They were taking selfies. Right. And when you do, astronauts aren't taking selfies when they're doing work, but people on a ride take selfies.
Emmer would know. He interviewed them.
I would go, too, if I had the chance, whether it was the Alan Shepard mini.
Would you call it a ride?
Probably with a capital R.
Okay.
Guys, quickly, you know, guys are parents. Here we go. On spring break, have fun on spring break. I'll be right next door, kids. That's what the headline says. Parents are tagging along.
All right, so you see that. I mean, everybody's mocking it because they're trying to call themselves astronauts. And it was just a ride. Let's see what the very top of Mount Stupid looks like. And so basically it didn't translate to like sales. There, look at that. You know, the trip had no purpose. It was just a ride, right? Yeah, because usually there is a purpose to this, the whole thing, right? But yeah, it hasn't translated to their sales of anything. And especially her tour and all that. So let's see what people are saying, why people are not interested in the tour. Nobody wants to see a middle-aged woman act like that and actually have to pay for it when it's free to laugh at. Her, Katy kissed the dirt and she liked it. Pretty good. I can't sell tickets, I like it. Katy's overrated, overpaid. Yeah, she wasn't in space. She left her brain in space. Has she even had a big hit in the last 10 years? I mean, yeah, she was doing like shows like American Idol and all that. Yeah, so I think it's just people are just not interested, you know, in Katy Perry. I think she's trying to be relevant and all that. That's why she did these things, because she's been kind of stepping aside all these years doing American Idol, and you know, other than that, that's the latest in here. I just wanted to talk about sanctuary cities falling apart, slowly unraveling, the Blue Origin, and how it's just all full of cheese and mockery of. Basically, it is making a mockery of the space community in terms of real astronauts. And to me, it's just a desperation ploy for women seeking attention. And hopefully that was supposed to translate to something big, and it didn't. And people just didn't care for it. Comment down below and let me know what you think. That's what I think. And other than that, we'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. But before I'm out, subscribe, hit the bell icon, follow me on Rumble, or subscribe to me on YouTube. And other than that, now I'm out.